Back on the Porch pregame show, Zach Bayruti here with my pregame guest tonight, Rashun Dixon. And Rashun, 3 for 4 in the series opener, helping the Ports in that game to a 14-12 win. Back in the lineup tonight, you pinch ran last night. But talk about how you feel you're settling into the California League so far after a nice season in the Midwest League last year.
Definitely trying to get more balls in the air. I mean, not pop-ups, but more line drives instead of ground balls. The parks are smaller. I don't think the pitching is that much better, but it is better. See a lot more breaking balls, but I feel like I'm adjusting pretty good.
To touch on that point a little bit, what are your expectations as a hitter coming into this league? You ask pitchers this question a lot, but I'm asking a hitter now. You talk about wanting to get the ball in the air a little bit more. Is that because of the size of the ballparks and maybe the way the wind goes sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. In spring training, hearing that the ball travels out here and just hearing about how small all the parks are. I mean, not necessarily trying to get the ball in the air, but not going off of more base hits, trying to get more doubles, stuff like that.
What's the biggest adjustment going from low A to high A? You hear about a jump a lot going from high A to double A, but what about from low A to high A?
I would say the quality of a breaking ball. I see 2-0 breaking balls, 3-1 breaking balls, which last year in the Midwest League, in those counts, you usually saw fastball. So it's just about being ready for any pitch and any count.
You passed up playing college football at Mississippi State. You could have gone there to play with your brother Anthony, who's now with the 49ers, but you signed with the A's instead out of high school. How tough was that decision for you?
It was actually really tough because I had 2 older brothers that were going there to play football, and I played football so much growing up, and that was just my passion. But I played baseball just as much, and when it came down to it, I just decided on baseball because both of them played football.
You played, as you mentioned, a ton of football growing up, and then going to baseball. How tough a transition is it to go from football to baseball?
It was actually really tough because when a lot of guys were playing in the fall, I was still playing football, so I didn't get as many games or ABs as they got in. So when baseball season came around, I was a little behind, but I mean, the pitching wasn't as good as it was now, so it wasn't too hard to adjust.
A lot of scouts talk about your athletic ability and your tools. What tools do you think translate best from football to baseball?
I used to have a lot more speed, but I'm a little heavier now. So I would say power. I was in the weight room a lot more than these guys were because I did play football. Awareness, playing football is a little different than playing baseball. So it's easier to pick up fly balls because I'm so used to picking up footballs. And it's a little different, but not much different.
Which one of your tools do you want to really hone in on this year? Is it your power? Is it your speed? Is it something else?
I would say just overall hitting. I feel like I can hit for average, but that hasn't really been going my way the past couple of years. I mean, I hit 275 last year, but I got in a slump early like I did this year, and it kind of put me behind. But just being able to start off the season hot and finish the season hot and not really have too many slumps.
You mentioned your brother Anthony playing for the 49ers. Have you got a chance to go over there to Candlestick at all and see him play?
Yeah, in the offseason, I actually went about 4 or 5 times. And the stadium wasn't too bad. I know they're getting a new one, but it wasn't too bad. The games are interesting. I got to meet a lot of 49er players, and that was pretty cool.
Do you still find yourself maybe thinking about wanting to ever play football again?
My first couple of years, I used to go back to Mississippi State and watch him play. And last year, watching the Niners, I caught myself a couple of times, but I've played so many games over the past couple of years that it's hard to even think about football now.
Staying on that theme for one more question, obviously the NFL is in a lockout right now. What are your brother's thoughts on how that's going to go down?
He's actually in Mississippi at his college working out right now, so I mean he really doesn't know much because he can't communicate with the coaches or the front office or anything, so he's just playing it by ear like everybody else.
Lastly, Rashun, what are your thoughts on the team so far? I know it's been a struggle this past week since that San Jose game, but the team got off to a great start. How do you think things might play out this year?
We have a really good team. I mean, nobody's hitting the ball really well right now, but we're still playing good as a team. I just feel like we've been on the road a lot this month, and that's kind of catching up to us. I feel like a lot of guys are getting tired, but, I mean, still have to go out and play, and I think we'll get it back around.
All right, Rashun, well, thanks for your time. We'll catch up with you soon.
No problem, Zach. Thank you.
That's Ports outfielder Rashun Dixon. Come back with the starting pitching matchup next from Visalia here on KWSX.